Dude, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. Thanks for taking the time to hang out. Stoked to have you on.
Yeah, of course, man. Stoked to be a part of this, doing this again.
Where else? There's a lot to talk about here because you guys not only just announced a tour, finally coming back to Australia, but also got a brand new album to talk about.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, we've been needing to come back to Australia for so long. We got back with Unify in 2020, and that was as the pandemic, like we got home and the pandemic basically started.
Yeah,
Um, but that was just kind of a dip back in because after our accident, we weren't sure how much we could take on. We weren't sure we were gonna be able to tour again, and we were just kind of like doing things here and there as they came along. And then we got that offer to play. And we're like, yeah, let's go down there and play. Like we miss Australia, like one of the best places to go and play and just be a tourist in. Um, and then yeah, and then we had plans to do a headline tour, and then COVID, and then we kept having plans to come back, and it just kept getting pushed, and it didn't things didn't line up, didn't work out, and then we got a Parkway Drive offer, and we're like, well, we're not gonna not do this tour. This tour is insane. So,
yeah, that'd be
uh,
crazy.
yeah, they sent us the offer. And we're like, dude, first off, touring with Parkway, those dudes are legends. They're like the coolest dudes ever. And then on top of that, oh, you're gonna play for tens of thousands of people. Yeah, let's do that too.
Yeah, I think that's such a cool thing that they're doing here is one, like Parkway are at that level where they can like headline festivals and put on these great shows, but they've maintained a level of like stoked for the music and they're just bringing their friends along for the ride. And I think that's such a cool thing. Like when they announced the lineup for this headline tour, one, obviously we were so pumped to have you guys come back and we're all excited for Full Tilt and then that didn't happen. So we're doing it this time. But just like the fact that they're bringing on like four big bands, all doing good things in the space, I think that's so rad because honestly, they don't need to. Like you could just do like a headliner and a single support, and everyone be happy. But they're putting on and making it like a full show, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, dude. If they had just said, "Hey, we're going on tour ourselves," and didn't announce anybody else, it was still would have done this. Got the same reaction. Like that's what's so cool about a band like Parkway. Like they've done it for so long and they've done it so well and they've done everything right. And they're just like the coolest dudes. And just literally, it's just so fun being on tour with them. And they hadn't toured Australia, and it's I mean for them it's been what a long time too, like 6 7 years or something like that.
Since they did
Crazy.
like a headline tour, yeah, it's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, yeah. Like I mean, that's their first proper headline tour back, and like we're just honored to be a part of it in any way. And like, yeah, we got to come down there and headline, and that was a big thing for us. We had Australia like locked up and on the map, and everything was good to go, and it just things here and there just didn't work out, and kept getting pushed, and then
Yeah.
it's still a main concern for us. We still want to go down there. We still want to play for a full headline set, because people haven't seen it. We haven't properly played out there in 10 years, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like we did that. We did Unify, but not everybody was able to travel down to Melbourne or Melbourne,
Yeah,
outside of
Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah, where it was. Not everybody was able to travel down there and go to that. So, it's been a long time. And when you're on a support tour, you have a limited set time. When you're headlining, you could do whatever you want. But
Yeah.
for us going in there, I don't know how big our set is, 30 minutes, 35, 40, whatever it is. But like it's people are gonna want to see us. People, Ghost Side fans are gonna want to see us play more, and it's like
Yeah,
we don't
100%.
have the options. So it's still a big thing for us. We still want to come down there headline for sure.
When it comes to trying to fit into a like support set list, because you guys you've been going around for a long time, and obviously like the accident and the period after was like a hiatus of sorts. But you guys are like an OG in the space. You guys have a lot of music under your belts. How hard is that to pick the stuff you're gonna play for that? Because like you've got new music that you haven't been able to play here.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. Because honestly, like I said, we have this is gonna be our sixth record out, and like we gonna have so many songs to choose from, and there's gonna be a mix of old fans coming out who've been there since the beginning, newer fans who are just getting into this stuff, and then there's people who have never heard of us ever who are gonna see us for the first time. So we have to find that balance of like what we want to hear and leading with our best foot forward kind of situation. But we're lucky in the fact that like our set list almost writes itself because our our songs that we want to play are the most popular songs that people like to see us
Cool.
play and like to sing along with anyway. You know, there's always going to be fans who are like, you know, I want to hear this off the first record. And it's like, mate, we wrote that when we were 22
Yeah.
years old. Like,
Yeah.
we're full 40 now. Like, there's no way we're playing that, you know, but that's just that comes with the territory, you know, and it's like, it's something crazy. Like, we haven't really had to do much supporting. Um, since we've come back after the accident. Now is our first time where we're in a slot where we're able to kind of just make a, you know, very clear and concise set list that's just like, we know we have to play this, we know we have to play this, we know we have to play this. And I'm sure there's going to be songs that we want to play that we're not able to play, and I know there's going to be songs people want to hear that we're not able to play. So it's going to be, that's where the headlining stuff comes in. That's why I think it's so important for us to go out with a band like Parkway, who are just the coolest dudes and so awesome and so nice, and are we're going to be playing to, you know, their gigantic crowds, and then we're able to come back and then play for our fans and oh, you know, predominantly our fans,
Yeah, sure.
and put you know, time into the set list and make it like a, you know, a thing like that. So um we haven't had to really work on a support set until this, so I'm excited to get to practice on this and be like, all right guys, where do we start, what do we do?
I think as just you're playing to like a Parkway fan base, but the cool thing with a band like Parkway, who have sort of like grown and adapted their sound over time, is that the fans that have come along for the journey, I reckon, are pretty like open eared to whatever is out there. You guys have stuff like you've got the crushingly heavy, but coming to this new album, you've also got the big sing along, like open choruses, even like clean verses that you've never really strayed into much before. That's probably going to open the doors for more people to step involved as well. So that's, I think, doing a support slot as the first thing back is probably a great move, even though it wasn't necessarily an intentional one. It's going to allow you to reach new audiences in a new way and share all this new stuff you've kind of put out. That's exciting.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. And like we went into this record with no reservations. We were like, you know what? Like, we almost didn't get to do this ever again. And the fact that we're able to, like, if we don't give it 110%, then we're just selling ourselves short, you know, like everything we've said about pushing forward and giving everything your all and never backing down and just, you know, striving to be the best. Like, if we just settled for what we knew was going to be good and what people were going to like that that uh would have been like not true to ourselves, you know. So we had
Sure.
to really push the envelope and do everything within our power that we knew we were capable of, while still maintaining the sound of the band. And I think with this new record, the way that the topics are and the way that the song structure is, it's really back and forth and jarring almost, and it's with intention, you know. Like, we wanted to go into these songs where we, you know, we released Earn It was our first single, and then we released Death Grip, and then we released Wash It Away, which is like the opposite of Death Grip, and then we most recently released Split. So it's like a real like jarring back and forth vibe. And you know, that was all with intention, because this record is about, you know, the travel to the goal, you know, to the end point, and how no matter what in life, it's never linear. No matter what you're doing, whether it's a career or a relationship or whatever, like, there's never a straight path. It's always hills
Yeah.
and valleys, always, you know, and you're always being pushed and pulled in certain directions, and you're kind of all over the place. And like, um, it's just like, you know, you're in your head so much, you know, like, you know, you're always up there. And that's kind of what we wanted to convey with this record, and just show that, like, you know, it is jarring, and it does hit you from all angles, but it's about the journey, not the end destination. You know, it's not about the end of the last song. It's about the journey getting to the end of the last song. And I think that's we really pushed the envelope on that one.
When you were coming into the writing process or the recording process, I was having this conversation with like Cody and Britton the other day from Wage War, and I know Cody helped out in some of the songs with you guys. We're talking about like the the metalcore community can be a really shitty place at times. it can be so fickle and entitled. Was that something that you can consider being like, fuck, like we know we're gonna like this is gonna cause some like butt hurt amongst the those people who are like our fans. I say that in that because if they're actually fans, they're gonna support you in whatever you're doing anyway. But like I saw some of the comments on Instagram and some people being like pretty shitty when it becomes like, oh, like they're singing, that's not what I like this band for. Was that something that you kind of consider and be like, oh, like, is this what we want to do? Or at the end of the day, you're just doing what you want to do, regardless of what the consequences of the fans are saying.
Well, I think we're a very fortunate band in the fact that we've got a lot of opportunities and a lot of tours and a lot of things based on our fan base, and because our fan base is so supportive and
Yeah.
no matter what we do. And I think the core element of our band has always been the lyrics and the vibe we put out and the this is kind of cheesy to say, but it's the positivity our band brings, like the never say die attitude, the never give up attitude. And I think that as long as we kept that as the core value of what we're doing, I think that it's gonna come through no matter what. We're if we're genuine about it, it's gonna be a thing. And yeah, I mean, there are songs like "Wash It Away," which is very different than a lot of stuff that we've done, but like, there are songs like "Going Under," which is like, a typical Gus Inside song. There's like, there's "Death Grip," which is like no singing. It's just a heavy, just like moshy sing along song. Like
Yeah.
we went into it with no reservation because we were like, you know what? I'm touching back on what I said earlier. Like we almost didn't get another chance to do this, so it's like, why would we half-ass it? Why would we settle when we can just write what we want to do, to what we're capable of and what we want to do and what we're all older now, and like people's tastes change and people's feelings change, and it's like it's really hard to follow a band from song one, record one to the very last song in their career. It's like very few bands have those fans that have been there from day one, and I feel like we're a band who has had a lot of people stay with us over the years, and it's really an honor. It's really a blessing to be able to go to places like Australia. Like a lot of American bands don't have the kind of career that bands like we do, because we were able to go to Australia every year,
Yeah.
sometimes twice a year, and go down there and just have the reception that we've had. And it's been amazing. And I think that there's always going to be it's you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. There's always going to be people who are like, oh, they're writing the same stuff. Like this is boring. I wanted them to adapt. I wanted them to grow. I wanted them to do more. And then there's people who are like, what is this? This is not what I fell in love with. I
Yeah.
play this song from back in the day. Like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And if you just listen to everybody, there's just no way to make everyone happy. And I think that with the way the internet is now, it's very accusatory and very negative first, and then the positivity comes through. You're always on the attack and never on like the praise. That's
Yeah,
just
for
that's
sure.
just the way it is now, and it sucks. And I wish it wasn't like that, but you know what? Like people who are the loudest are like the minority, and it's never gonna be you're never gonna please everybody, and no matter what you do in life, dude. And it's just like we've learned that over the years, and it's like we're not gonna settle, dude. Like we're not gonna stop doing what we're capable of and what we want to do, because there's a couple people who are like, hey, this isn't why I love your band. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like,
The old stuff
we
still exists.
yeah, it does
You
still
can still
exist,
listen to it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's fine. Like as by the way, like we are. Johnny's not here. My other friend that does chat with me, he's in Japan right now because he's a jerk. But he and I are actual day one fans. Like we've both seen you from like tiny little like local youth center shows many times over. So we've followed your journey throughout the whole career. And I can honestly say, like, you can see the progression each time. And it's not as though you've gone from being like, we've released returners and now we're doing washed away. Like, there has been a gradual progression throughout the whole thing that if you followed along, it's not jarring. It's not like, where did this come from? You can see that envelope being pushed every single time. Even for like the first time you did the album with like Jeremy McKinnon, where you had like a few bits of clean choruses come in, you can see that you guys are experimenting with that. It's always so surprising me when you see the backlash from the few loud dickheads. But be like, if you're actually a fan, if you listen to music, you know that's like it's not actually a departure. It's not something that they've never done. It's just progressing and playing it in the next direction, which I think is it's really cool. And I'm stoked that you guys have actually taken the chance and have done more of this because you're doing it really fucking well. Like the whole album for me, I know you
Mm-hmm.
said it's jarring, you're like the singles particularly, but for the whole album, listen through front to back, it's not a jarring listen. It flows very well. Like it all feels cohesive in like one bit of art, which I think sick.
Cheers, man. That really means a lot, dude. Like, we wanted to really just when we put out self-titled back in 2020, that was our first foray back into music again after so many years off after the accident, and we knew people were going to be excited to listen to it because it was the first thing back, from this band who went through all this stuff and like, said all these positive things. And it's like, what now? And like, so I think I love self-titled and I love every song on that record, but I think we did play it a little safe where we were kind of like, we need to do what, uh, is almost expected of us, like we
Sure.
need to be kind of on the straight and narrow and like as our first foray back into it. And I
Yeah.
think
The band you love is
that
still here.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that I think that record. I mean, I think there's the timing of that record, it coming out like at the start of the pandemic. Like it was just like it was the first time we put out a record and we weren't able to promote it and go on tour and play shows and do that kind of stuff. It was like it was a double-edged sword because we were like, you know what? Like this is the time when people need music the most is when they're just
Yeah.
cooped up in their house and they can't go anywhere. They need this stuff. So like we should put it out right now. We shouldn't wait and that all this stuff. And we also didn't know how long the pandemic was going to be. We didn't know it was going to last as long as it did and with all these, restrictions and lockdowns and stuff. And so I think that that record was it's important definitely in the career of the band, but I think this one specifically solidifies like the next level. Like whereas that one was more of like a lateral move, this one's more of like a
Yeah.
upstep.
For sure. Are there any songs on the record that you're particularly excited about getting to play live? Because you haven't had
uh
a chance to play much of it live yet, have you?
no, we've played Death Grip and Earn It. It's
Yeah.
basically it. I'm very excited to play Light Years. That's my favorite song on the record. That's one of the
Sure.
songs we did with Cody from Wage War. And it's like the song is just like me, it's everything the Ghost Inside does, just pushed to 11. Like the verses are like really, really hard hitting and like the lyric content is great. And like the choruses are like really like just like powerful and emotional. And it's got like the really big like melodic one string lead like the big thing that we're known for
Yeah.
having at least one on each record. And I think that for me I'm really excited for that. And playing Death Grip has been amazing, playing Earn It has been amazing, all the reception of its single so far has been amazing. And I think that this next tour we're doing here in the States in a couple of weeks is the first time. I mean, it comes out that the first day of the tour is the first day the record comes out, so it's going to
Oh,
be
cool.
yeah, it's gonna be cool to be able to have it out in the world while we're playing it and while we're promoting it, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be cool. So I'm honestly excited to play whatever, man, whatever we can get out. But for me, my favorite song is definitely Light Years, and I'm excited for people to hear that one and be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, yeah. And as I said, for me, it did feel like a very like it's a band I know and love, but like the next progression of that, and I can definitely see that in light years. Talking about the back catalog, are there any songs in the back catalog? Say you're doing your headline set, you got like a 2 hour set, you can play whatever you want. Are there any songs you'd be like, fuck, never play this? This is a song I want to get out there. This is like a personal favorite to me.
I mean, we've toyed around with ideas of songs and throwing it back. We've done a thing the past couple of years called Rebirthday Bash, where we play a show on the day of the accident as an anniversary of just like, hey, like this is our rebirthday. We're
Yeah.
living life again, and we've brought out we've brought out some older songs there that were really fun to play, like a lot of old stuff off the first record, like the first song Provoke, and like
Yeah.
brought out stuff. And I think um we did toy around with the idea of playing a song Begin Again off our self-titled record that we've never played, and we have kind of songs on each record that are kind of circled that are like, hey, we've never played this song, like we know more than anybody, we might never get the chance to ever again. It could, tomorrow things could
Yeah,
change and we never get to. So like we should start playing like just random stuff. But then obviously we can't do it on a tour like a Parkway tour where we have to be very specific about the songs we play and the,
yeah,
set time that we have. But um yeah, I think there's songs on each record specifically that I would love to play. I know Blue and Gold off the first record is like one of my favorites and I would love to play a song again, but that's for the people like you that have been there since 2008 because
yeah. I have heard that
95%
song live before. It's fine.
yeah,
I can
95%
get you in.
of the crowd's gonna be like, "What the hell is this, dude?"
Yeah, this is what the new stuff sounds like. With the sort of like progression, the growth in the sound of the band, it opens up doorways to tour with different bands. Like you moved from being like hardcore metalcore leaning into a bit more like open metal, just like even alt rock. I say butt rock at times, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, are there any bands that Siri, shut the fuck, she's so noisy. Um, are there any bands that you're like, oh man, this would be a dream that I'd love to play with that you like you think are an opportunity now? What's like a bucket list band you'd want to play with?
I think for as far as the band, I can speak for the rest of the band because I know this is the band that we've been like, dude, if we can just get a tour with them, I would. Is a band Slipknot would be so fun to go on tour with them and just we're all Slipknot fans and on top
Sure.
of being on tour with them, just playing to to all the maggots out there and just being
Yeah.
like just having a good time. And I think that we're like I said before, like we're very fortunate in the fact that like we feel like if you put us in front of people, we're gonna win them over. We're going to
Yeah. Oh,
interact
yeah.
with people and we're going to give off the energy of a live set that maybe not every band does, and I think that there's a takeaway from seeing us live that doesn't always happen. You go to a show and you see bands, you're like, oh, these bands are all sick, but sometimes you go to a Ghost Inside show that it just like sticks with you. Like there's like a connection that like it's indescribable. Like you have to be there to feel it and to see it. And I think that it's a big part of what has helped our career for so long. Is I think just there's a connection that you don't always get with all the other bands. And I think that for us, yeah, going on tour with like a band like Slipknot and another big bucket list band is a band Deftones. We would love to tour with Deftones, that kind of stuff. And we're not closed off to anybody, man. Like we would tour with anybody, and like we've been fortunate enough to do different kinds of tours. And I think that it's always fun for us to be the heaviest band on a softer tour. Like that always does really well for us. Like back in the day, we toured with that the band Transit, Man Overboard, us, and Stences Fail. And that tour was we did really well on that tour, like really, really well. And we toured with I don't think another tour we've done. Like we've toured with like A Day to Remember and we did a tour with A Day to Remember and was it Beartooth and Bad Omens, and they're all like happy majority singing stuff, and like it
Yeah.
always does really well to like get in front of those crowds who are like expecting that kind of stuff, and then we come in with like the real heavy stuff, and they're just you can see in
Sure.
their faces they're just like whoa, they're like just
Yeah.
like open eyed, and they're like they've never seen anything like this before. So really cool. We've done we like I said, I sound like a broken record, but we're very lucky to be in the situation we are and to have the opportunities that we do because not every band is able to do the tours where they tour with the heavier bands and they also can tour with the softer bands, and we read that line and it's really sick.
I think when those bands have those like little heavy moments in them, like a lot of bands that have those few moments in there where they get heavy, but just for a second and drop back. So it gives people a taste of it. And then when you come out and be like, well, you're getting the whole year, that's like people will lose their minds. I think you're being very modest though in saying that you're lucky. I don't think that's it, dude. You guys are so affable and you have like I've got plenty of friends in the space that all know you guys, and no one ever has a bad word to say. And seeing it live, it translates. You can see that you guys are doing it for the right reasons. You actually love what you're doing. You love spreading that positivity and that like you can do anything vibe. I think also now coming back from the accident, where it was already like life swinging hard, but I'm swinging harder, and then life swings really fucking hard, and you guys come back out like you're practicing what you preach. No one can hate that. It's a very good quality. Don't be so modest.
Yeah, no, it is pretty cool. Like was saying before, like we really we wrote these lyrics with intention, and we believed it, and we really wanted to live it. And but like, how tough was our lives, and we were able to tour the world playing music for a living. Like, our lives
Yeah,
weren't that bad. Like, life wasn't swinging very hard at us. Like, we always believed in those things. And then when push came to shove, and when everything happened and we had to get back to it, like, if we didn't at least play the comeback show, if we didn't at least put out something else, then it would have all been for nothing. It would have all been fake. Like, we would have
yeah,
been frauds. And that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to prove that, like, it does happen. Life does swing at everybody, dude, hard as shit. And there's some times where it's really, really hard and almost impossible to get back up, but you got to just do it, because the alternative is you just you don't exist anymore, and that's not what we want to do. So
yeah.
it's
Every
it's
time you
definitely
was
a lot
like,
of it's
every time
definitely a
you
lot of hard
like, I
work,
shouldn't have
and
written that lyric. That was too real, man. Now I got to back it up.
too real, very too real. No, I it's I guess modesty is I am being a little modest, because we have put the work in, and we've done what we can. But I think one of the major things for us is that we understand the situation that we're in, and understand the opportunities that we're given. And we've always wanted to make the most of them. And not very many people in life can say, I'm a professional musician as a career, and
Yeah,
I'm able to influence people and spread a message of positivity. Like, that was a big thing for me. Like, when I first started playing music, I was like, like, people have these opportunities, and if I ever get the chance to speak to a lot of people and have something to say, I want it to help people. I don't want it to hinder people. I don't want to hold anybody back. I want it to really, really do good things. And we just stayed true to that, and it's taken us a long way. And I'm happy with the outcome, and happy where we are. And um, honestly, just really keen to get back to Australia on a proper tour, and get some cheeky Nando's, and some dare iced coffee.
that's the things you're looking forward to. The fast food
Absolutely,
options.
dude.
I want some service station food, and I want some fast food.
Let's go, dude.
I'm looking forward to that. The what are you listening to at the moment? I love talking with people about what's on their playlist at the moment. What's getting you pumped currently? It can be old, it can be new. You don't have to drop revolutionary bands that no one's heard of unless you've got them. But
Yeah,
give
no,
me a few artists that you're listening to at the moment.
a big band I'm listening to a ton right now, obviously, is Australian. Australian metalcore is absolutely destroying it right now. Like, the Australian metalcore is on the top of the world. And
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Alpha Wolf is a big one, and Polaris are two bands who are absolutely crushing it in your respective country, and then also all around the world, dude. They're really, really doing well. There's a band called Boundaries. I don't know if you heard of them.
Was listening to
Um,
them this morning. Great
Dude,
call.
they're
Yeah.
so sick, dude. They're
It's
so
so
sick.
crushingly heavy.
Era has some new stuff they've been working on. They're friends of ours. They've been crushing it. I know it's a lot of hype with TikTok and Noah and stuff, but I'm a big fan of Bad Omens. Like, that their
Yeah.
record, Death of Peace of Mind, dude, is so good.
Yeah,
So
there's a
good. Like,
reason for it.
there really is, dude. There really is. They're incredible songwriters, and they just have it, dude. They're on top of the world. And yeah, that band kicks ass. And as far as, like, that's all like metalcore kind of stuff. But I've been listening to a lot of a band called The Midnight, which is like
Ooh, okay.
it's like a synth wave, like, kind of like
Oh,
electronic,
sick.
like, with the 80s feel. It's really good, man. Like,
Cool.
yeah, you should check out The Midnight. They're, I don't know if they're your style, but they're like, yeah, it's synth wave. They have, like, saxophone sometimes. It's really
Yeah.
fun. It's a really fun listen, man. It's
Did you
really,
listen
really
to
vibey stuff.
Crosses, Chino's other project?
I've heard it. Yeah, yeah, I've heard it. I mean, I'm more of a Deftones guy, but
Sure.
Crosses is cool for sure. Yeah,
It's sort of like it kind of falls in that synth wavy, has a bit of an
sure,
80s feel at
sure,
times, which yeah, I really like that. That's a great album too.
sure.
Midnight's,
No,
I
but
gotta check that out.
dude, I genuinely believe that, dude. I genuinely believe Australian metalcore is like on top of the world. Like, there's no band that competes, dude. Like,
Yeah, it's
just
pretty
like
wild.
you guys are crushing it, dude.
I take absolutely no credit for that, but you're right. All the bands around here are doing good. I think it's a cool thing. Like Australia being so far away from the rest of the world, COVID kind of showed that to us. I feel like the live music space is better than ever now, and we do have some great artists leading from the front. But it's so sick seeing bands coming out here and getting the response. Like our shows are packed from the moment doors are open, and people are there watching the support. It's like everyone's giving space to everyone else. And I think that's so cool. There's a lot of Aussie bands that are doing kind of experimental things, which I think you guys can appreciate. Like you got, like you said, like Alpha Wolf, their album that comes out this week, which I don't know if you've heard the whole album yet, but it's so good. I'm so pumped for them. Like Thornhill,
I got to
those dudes are
check it out
releasing
the other
some
day.
cool stuff.
Oh yeah, Thornhill too. Yeah, dude, dude, insane, dude. It's so many.
Yeah,
Void of Vision's Aussie band too,
dude.
right?
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
come
That
on,
two of
man.
you guys
Just
together, hot damn, that's gonna be a good time.
dude, crushing it. Like, no country compares, dude. Like, Australia is
Um,
crushing the metalcore scene right now.
and in terms of the tour, will you give yourself any time off to do some tourist stuff while you're here?
Absolutely. We have. I mean, I don't know. Some of the shows have sold out already, so I don't know if they plan on adding more shows. If they do, we will definitely play them. But as far as time off, like, I'm very excited to go to Australia. Like, I was I did an interview prior to this and I was saying the same thing. Like, Australia is the number one place for us to go because there are places in the world where the shows are amazing, but the country isn't always the favorite, our favorite place to go, be tourists in, and
Yeah,
or vice versa. There's places that are amazing to go visit and go do, but the shows are kind of whatever.
yeah,
Australia has both, where the shows are amazing and the tourist stuff is amazing. And on top of that, we have so many friends down there from the years of touring. And like, my best friend that I grew up with, an American guy, married an Australian woman, and they have a family out there, and like, I get to see them very, very infrequently. And
cool.
I would love, as of right now, the plan is to they live in the outskirts of Melbourne, to for the Melbourne show, hang there with them, and then I think
Cool.
a couple days later fly to Adelaide, South Australia, Adelaide. So that's my plan currently. So I'm definitely planning on doing some tourist stuff because Australia is an incredible country, and I'm not just gassing you up, dude. It's like, it's really our favorite country, like, to go, like, as far as like tourism, friends, weather, like,
Yeah.
goes, like, everything there kicks ass. Australia kicks ass. I can't say
I
enough good things
honestly
about it.
don't. People said that, like, oh, I know you probably think I'm just saying this. I was like, dude, I'm from here. I know how good it is. I don't feel like people are saying that because I'm like, it is great. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it really
Um,
is, dude. It really
it,
is.
it's cool now seeing, I think, the music space is backing up how good the nature and the actual location is now. That, as you said, we've got some awesome bands coming here. The shows seem to be going off. So, and like I said, sold out shows straight away. I think almost the whole tour is sold out at this stage. That's
Wow, dude.
insane. A
So
weekend,
wild.
like it's gonna be the best. I'm so pumped. So pumped.
So, so wild. Like, dude, yeah. Parkway could have just done it themselves. They could have just literally sold out these shows themselves. And the fact that they're bringing us, the two American bands, and Void of Vision, just to go play these shows, like, it's such a gift, and we're so stoked,
Yeah.
man. I'm excited to go do our thing, play, a 30-minute. Well, I don't know how long our set is, 30-minute greatest hit set, and just do it, man. Just vibe and just live it, and then go watch Parkway in the
I
crowd
know
as a
that's a
fan. Like,
sick thing to go watch that.
I'm really excited to go. Like, we've toured Parkway a ton of times. We've played a bunch of festivals with them, and like, we've been able to watch from the side of the stage. But I'm excited to go out and watch the actual set, and like the pyro, and like all the cool, like, production and stuff, and like,
Yeah.
um their production manager, Ben, is like a good friend of ours. He actually flew out and did our comeback show and
Oh,
did
cool.
our production and stuff. Yeah, because it was our first time doing pyro, and like, he's obviously done so much with Parkway, and so
Yeah.
dude, it's just that couldn't ask for a cooler tour with cooler people, and like a better time. Like,
Is there any
we're
pressure
counting down.
as the support to make your show, like, obviously you're not gonna have the size of like production they are, but Is there any thought of being like, well, fuck, we can't just like put up a banner and play some songs. We have to do something cool.
Yeah, there's always that pressure, like we're given the opportunity to play in front of, tens of thousands of people some nights, like it wouldn't just work if like, hey, we have a banner and like that's it. Like we want to do more, but like you're very limited on what you can do as far as that
Yeah,
because there's a band after us who has a little bit more space and a little more production that they can do. And then obviously there's Parkway who have all their stuff. They're gonna have all their stuff set up and curtained off, roped off, whatever it's gonna be. So it has to scale down as far as the other
sure.
bands go. So we are limited on what we can do, but the good news is we're gonna be playing to a lot of new people, and we're gonna be able to come back on a headline tour and give the proper headline tour vibes. And just having the support opportunity is huge for us, and I
Yeah.
cannot wait to go down there.
Well, we look forward to having you back. Thanks for taking the time to hang out this morning. And also,
Of course,
congratulations on
man.
the album. I know it's not out yet publicly, but we'll hold this until it is out so we can say,
Appreciate it,
hey,
man.
go, everyone go listen to it because it's fucking sick and you guys have crushed it. Well done.
Let's go. Let us know what your favorite song is too. That's a big thing for us. And if it's not Light Years,
Yeah.
then you're wrong.
Tell me why your favorite song is this.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, dude.